and welcome to my channel. This video I did for Paperomia Daily Star Lives, so I've just edited a bit of it to make it into a video for my YouTube channel, and I'm making an ephemera holder, and I'm using Paperomia's Moon Herb kit here. I've done all the printing. I'm going to put one of these images, probably this one I think, onto the front here. So I need to go and cut all this out and I'll be back shortly. And I've got many Spanish vintage books. This is a economic political one, economic politics, and it's got a lovely patina around the outside here and on the papers inside. So I want to try and keep these if I can. I don't think I will be putting any decoration on these because I just love them. However, I will be covering these pieces here, but I don't really want to cover the back because it's got a gorgeous engraving on the back as well, so I might leave that. I will cover here as well. First of all, I need to just reinforce this and make it look a bit nicer. I've been thinking I'd love to keep this, but I don't think I can with what I want to do. So I think I will put some glue down first, and I'm using, well, I use this stuff I get over here called Block, but you could use Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 if you wanted to. Now, I don't really know anybody on this group, but for this video, I'm from Spain. Well, I'm from the UK, but I live in Spain. So when this video comes out, I'm not sure when exactly. Right. And this is just a bookbinding reinforcement tape you can buy. And then cut off here. Oops. Okay, now I'll put some more glue down because I'm going to put this piece of William Morris fabric I've got. I thought it went quite nicely with this moon kit that we've got from Paperomia. Yes, I have got it up the right way. Nearly had a panic there. And then I've got 2 sheets here that I want to put on here that I've already cut out and inked, and I've used gathered twigs. So this will go onto here and here with these from the kit. But before I do any of that, I need to cut out some more paper like this because I want to put a flap coming in like that. Now to do the flaps that come out like that, I've got some book page and some craft card. And I'm just going to stick this straight onto here. And then trim around the edges of it. There will be pockets on both sides of this so that you've got plenty of room for your ephemera to go in. I've taken to using my roller lately. Make sure I get it stuck down. Okay, now I'm just going to trim around the edges here. I hope this doesn't turn into too long a video. I know some of the lives go quite on for about an hour, but I'm not very good at talking. If I saw you face to face, I could talk the hind legs off a donkey, but now when I'm doing a video, I find that quite difficult. I have no idea why. So this is going to be the inside on there. I just need to ink round, and I'm using, did I say? I'm using gathered twigs for this. Okay, so that's going on there. And for this, to get that on there, I've got a hinge with a spine, and it's 1.5 inches with 3 half-inch markings I've scored and inked. So this is going onto here. So I need to now stick this piece onto this. So I'm putting the glue on here. So this goes on here approximately in the middle, not all the way to the crease, so that you can open it. Yep, like that. And this will go on here, and this will go like that. For this piece, I've also got a piece from the kit, which I thought I'd inked round, but I haven't. Glue this down. And then on this side, I'm putting this piece of paper. And whoops, for that, I'm going to use my block, I think. But I'm going to trim this down this side now, just so that it's right up to the edge, because I know it goes to the very edge. And then I'll cut off the rest once I've glued it on. So this will sort of go like that onto here. There's that there. Again, place it near to the fold, but obviously not too near. And then roller it again. And then I'll cut this off here. I'll bring this in now. I've done this side. I still get confused even though I've done that side. And I'm going to glue this now to just before the edge. Okay, then what I've got for the inside here is another piece of the paper to go on there. It was a pity about having to cover this up, because I did like the patina on it, but not a lot you can do. when I'm putting the extra flap in. Okay, so that's down now. You see why you have to concentrate on this? I've got this for here, front, yes. I do mark things, by the way, so I know what I'm doing. As you can see, I've got it here as well for that one. So I'll put that approximately in the middle. I'll use my art glitter glue for this. If it comes out, it's very temperamental. Oh yeah, we have glue. There. So this is the beginnings of the folio, the ephemera holder. Don't know if I've said, but I'm going to do a blank journal to go with it as well, but I don't think I'll get that ready for this video. So it then folds in like that. You can see that there. Now for the front, I'm planning on putting this on the front. I'm not sure whether to put some lace on. Plus I need some lace down here as well. So I'm going to go and find some. I found lace, but I didn't like it. It kind of, everything showed through. I just wasn't keen on it. And you could see the writing through it. So I went for another bit more of a William Morris fabric, the same one, to put over there. I frayed around the edges, and I've also sewn, I don't know if you can see because I did it in black thread, sewn around it as well. So now I need to glue this onto here, and I'll use the Fabri-Tac or what 3-in-1, whatever you've got that you use for your fabric, and just put it all over here. One thing I will say, I always do the main bit first and then do the other bits along the edges afterwards. So this will now glue down the side here. And then glue the back as well. Yeah, I think I'm preferring that as well now. And then I've got this to put on the front here. There we go. So this is the start of the ephemera holder. I've got to do the pockets inside next, and then we've got fill it with ephemera made with some of the pieces from the kit. I mean, I think there's an envelope that may go quite nicely in a pocket here. I mean, really anywhere. Pocket there. I'll sort out the pockets next now. Quick change of plan now. Before I do the pockets, I'm going to put some lace down here, and I've got this piece here and the same for the other side. So I'll go ahead and do that next. And again, use your Fabri-Tac 3-in-1, or like I've got here, I'm actually going to use my block for this. As I say, which is a local brand we have here. Okay, now I want to do some texture paste with a stencil on here. I think I'm going to open it out like this and do each one. I'm going to put it on here, and I'm using some Stamperia Mixed Media volume paste and my spatula, that's the word. Put that up there, that over there. I don't mind if it turns out a bit scruffy. It is a junk journal. It's not a junk journal, but it is holding junk ephemera. Junk journal ephemera. Now I do need to let that dry before I go ahead and do this one. So I'll just get on with that. Pockets. So I have glued some on because they're straightforward, but I'll show you what I've done, how I did them. I'm quite liking that. And then we have this here. Now this is a normal pocket. And I've taken an image from one of the pages. So, you know, sort of something like that, or the top like that. This is a top of a page. And then I make, this is going to be the top of the pocket. So I have put, to make sure that it's reinforced along the top there. And then I've just scored around. So when you cut them, you have to make sure you've got sort of at least 1/2 inch on each side and on the, I haven't folded these yet. And also on the bottom. This way, as you can see here, it gives you a little bit more room to put things in here. So what I'm going to do is ink around, first of all. There are two sort of types of pockets. Now this was used using something from the top, piece from the top. So to start off with, just move that a moment. I'm just going to put glue down here to just reinforce where you put the ephemera into. There. And then when you do one of these pockets, always make sure the bottom piece is on the top. Otherwise, if you put it underneath, it will get caught when you're putting ephemera in. And this will give you so much more room with your ephemera. And as this is an ephemera holder, so there'll probably be quite a bit in it. Right, just like that. And then just put this, I'm going to roughly, where are we there? You can see I've done that one there. So that's about right. Maybe a little bit up there. And then I roll over with my roller to really push it down. And then one other thing I do is take my metal ruler and just go where you've glued it onto the page. Just make sure it's all down and connected. Now, this side is for this one. Now, because this was the bottom of the page, and I only had, I don't know if you can see, a very thin strip there, I've had to add a piece of card on, just to extend the flap so I've got the room at the bottom of the page. So it will, the glue will go into that. So again, the same principle. Fold it all up. I'll just quickly ink round as well. There. And then you just glue this down. And when doing something like this, I would use a strong glue, so hence why I'm using my art glitter glue. Also, what I've done here, I've taken the bottom half of this, so this will be a continuous picture. So I'm just going to maneuver that into place. There. There. So you can see that is now one continuous picture, even though you've got the pocket there. And the same with this one, this side. This is one continuous picture as well. I will just make sure these are down properly. There. So that's how I do the pockets, to make sure that there's enough room for everything. Now, I want to put some lace on, and I have my antique lace here that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the finer lace, I think. No, don't like that. I think it'll be the cream. This is so pretty, this one. If I put a piece of that over there. Oh yes, that is so pretty. I think I'll do that on this one. Do you know what I think I'll do? I'll do that there. And I'm just going to put that piece up the side there. So let's do this piece first. Go over to here and do this. And then this piece along here. There we go. Now I'm going to have to leave that like that, I think, until it has dried properly. As I say, I'm not going to put any on there, so I probably need something on there, but I'm not sure what at the moment. Let me just stick that there. A piece up the side. Right, I think I'm going to leave this like this at the moment, and put that there. And then I'll come back with some ephemera as well. Okay, everything's on there and dry now, and I put two little bronze corners on and some quotes that are from Mrs. Cogg's Crafts, I think. So this is the inside for the ephemera holder with the pockets. So I'm going to start first. I've done some ephemera already that I'm going to be putting in. I've got, again, using the scraps, I've got a deep pocket here I've put together, and a little booklet. I had some craft card, so I've just covered it again in pieces that I had cut off and just put some paper in there. Oh, and some stickers, flower stickers, and just tied it up with some seam binding. So that's for in there. And then this little tag here, I put on top of this library card. I've backed everything in tea dyed paper. I thought that went quite nicely. That goes in there. Then the next, for this pocket, again, a scrap I had left over, so I made a tall skinny tag with it. This is the envelope that I've put some of the, I will put a bit more, I think, in there as well. I've got quite a bit over, so I'll put some more cards, and these are the pockets, some of the pockets from the kit. And I'll put some others, for instance, where are we here? This, where I've resized the pages down 2 to a page. I'll put that, some of them in there. And I've also, I haven't got it on me here, but I've also resized down to 2 to a page, 4 to a page. And I will put that in as well. Then I've got another pocket here with another saying on, quote. I've just rounded the corners on that. Put that way round, so we've got the flowers showing. And then I've just done some journal cards, and on the back of the journal cards I have been stamping as well. So they go in there. And then we open up this side, and here I've got a journal card, and I've used some of the Tim Holtz card and some ledger from Ruby and Pearl, and just again done some stamping on the back for that one. And then the pocket I've put onto, again, a piece of scrap that I had left over, and made a pocket, done some stamping and a bit of stamping on there, and just, this is one of the ones that was 4 to a page, and put that in there. Now this can either go on a page and stuck down as a tuck or a pocket, or you can just clip it onto a page as well. So that's in there. Then in the middle I've got, these were pockets as well, that I wrapped around this tag, blank tag I've got, and then made it into a pocket on a tag. And then some of the tags from the kit I've just slipped in there, and the ties are all butcher's twine, so I've put that in there. Then I have this, these are these sails, I think these are Ruby and Pearl, I can't remember, but what I've done, I've shrunk them down. I've got a little stock of them, and I use them as a little journaling space in journals, and I've cut out one of the flowers from one of the pages and put it on with a label. And then I've also got, again, the 2 to a page, the 4 to a page, and then this one I've just folded over, so you have that. And then this one is just one of the 4 to a page cards. And then here, again, similar, again with the pocket here, I've wrapped it around and backed it. Again, this, I can't even remember where this tag came from, but again, I'm trying to use things up. Oh, and on this, I've put a sticker as well, because that was a plain label, and just made that the tag. That was part of the kit. That can go in there. And then what I've got is this little booklet. Well, it's not a booklet. I've wrapped it with butcher's twine, and inside it's a journaling spot. Again, one of the pages that I've just shrunk and then put it together, and inside that I've put a couple of plain journal cards, and I've stamped again on the back of them. I won't tie all that up again. I'll do it again afterwards. And then I also have just a small Moon Herb potions and backed it with some piece of dyed music paper. And then here for the last pocket, I've got similar. I've made a journal card, large journal card from some Tim Holtz card, a scrap of script digital paper, and one of the pages shrunk and stamped on the back as well. That goes in there. And then again, the same thing as here. Oh, you can't see as here. It does get large. Is a scrap of paper that I've put one of the pockets on, backed, stamped, and done the same with the little card that goes in there from the 4 to a page, and that goes in there. I haven't tied it up with anything as yet. I needed to see how far I got with it, but I think that's quite full now, and it was worth the slightly larger spine, I think. I was contemplating a smaller one, but that is quite full. I'm going to do a plain journal with it, so that this goes with the plain journal, and then it can be filled up with this, and then in future you can just reuse it as you like. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all again in the next one. Don't forget to hit the like buttons, notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll probably be back on a Friday bonus just to show you the quick journal that I've put together to go with this. Thanks a lot. See you all in the next video. Bye.